Welcome back to the channel. My name is Douglas, and in today's video, I have the Yamaha YC88 here in front of me. Now, this keyboard's been on my bucket list for a while now, and as a Nord Stage 3 user and soon to be Nord Stage 4 user, I wanted to bring the YC88 into the mix. Number one, because I've been curious to check this keyboard out, and number two, because I think it would be really cool to compare this against my current Nord Stage 3 and the Nord Stage 4, which is coming really soon. So first of all, if you're not subscribed to the channel and you're interested in videos on the YC88, the Nord Stage 3, the Nord Stage 4, or really church and worship music in general, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. But what I wanted to do in this video is do a bit of an informal, unedited walkthrough of the keyboard. Just talk about how it's built, maybe some kind of coming at it from the Nord Stage 3 user perspective, because that is my main keyboard. And so bringing this into the mix, you hear a lot of people talking about a lot of the similarities between the layering, a lot of the controls here on the front surface, and even the physical drawbar. So as the Nord Stage 4 comes into the mix and starts shipping, that has the physical drawbars on all three of the different models. So it's more a direct comparison here with the LEDs and the drawbars to the YC88, but in the case of the Nord Stage 4, there's a lot that can do that this can't. So I just want to kind of do a bit of an unedited walkthrough of the YC88 itself, play some sounds, just talk about how it's laid out, how it works. And I know I'm a little bit late to the game with this keyboard, so I'm jumping in. Let's get to it. I wanted to just play a little bit of the piano, and then I'll jump in and talk about the different sections and how they work together. Again, coming at it from a bit of a Nord Stage 3 experience. So when you first turn it on, you get this 1-1 natural CFX. And the way that the YC88 is kind of assembled is you have the organ panel, the key panel, the effects, and then you have this center part here with these live sets. Now there's 20 banks or 20 live sets that you can cycle through. I think the first 10 or so, I guess it looks like the first 13, have settings and sounds saved to these live sets, but you can scroll through them with the pages here, or you can use the dial to scroll through the individual sounds. Now we're going to start off when you go to just the first live set and the first sound there. This is the CFX grand piano. No real effects or anything. You can see that the reverb's all the way at 0. There is a little bit of damper resonance here in effects slot 1. But I'm going to go ahead and play this for you so you can see kind of what just the out of the box bank 1, sound 1, or live set preset 1. This is what it sounds like. Pretty decent piano sound. If you want to scroll through, so over here in the keys section, we've got these different piano, electric piano, synth, and other sound slots. You can use this red up and down button to cycle through them. So again, we're still on live set, set 1, sound 1. We're kind of changing that. We could store it and overwrite what's there, or we can just kind of cycle through. There is the S700 grand piano in here. There's also the C7. I feel like that's got a little bit more of an intimate feel than the CFX, but I do like the CFX. So let's start over here on the left-hand side. They have got a pitch, almost kind of like the Nord knuckle, but it's not a knuckle. It's a bouncy little pitch stick, and then you have a modulation stick as well. The modulation stick, I'll be honest, it feels kind of flimsy, but you can tie that to the volume, similar to like the Nord Stage 3 morph functionality. You can get a little bit of that, so you could have your second layer with a synth sound on it, and then tie that to this modulation stick or an expression pedal and use that to bring the synth in and out. I do that a lot on the Nord Stage 3, but that has that wheel rather than a modulation stick. So I get that they can't really do exactly what the Nord Stage 3 does, but they tried to model that, I think, a little bit with this stick type idea here. It's pretty nice. I haven't really done a lot of like synth playing with the little bouncy pitch stick, but I can imagine it works a little better than using a wheel, and probably not quite as good as the knuckle on the Nord Stage 3. But that's besides the point. This isn't really, it's not as expensive as the Nord Stage line, and I don't think it's really meant to compete in all the areas, but there's a lot of similarity. So as you can see, there's a lot of the controls here right on the front panel. If we start at the left-hand side here, very similar to the Nord Stage 3s, you have the organ section here first. So you, of course, have the master volume. There is an audio interface, a 2-channel built into the YC88. I'm actually going out of the left and right through my Focusrite in the same way that I record the Nord Stage 3. But you can, it does have an audio interface built, so you can just go USB to the computer and record the sounds. I really like that. I think that's an amazing feature. I've had a couple keyboards that have that in it, and it's actually really useful. So again, underneath that master volume, we have the rotary speaker effect. So if I go over here and just turn the piano off, I'll talk about turning the sections on and off here. So you have this on-off toggle switch here under the organ, the 2 layers in the key section, the effects, the speaker amp, and then the reverb. And then for some reason, there's just an on-off button for the master equalizer. Unlike this, they did this on some of the panels, but on like the master equalizer and some of the effects, it's a button with an LED light. Still, I like the light. It indicates whether it's on or not. But to turn the organ section on, we just hit this toggle, and that brings our organ section. So in that case, the rotary speaker wasn't on. So now it's on stop. So if I just go to, let's just see what, we have different organ presets here. So we have the H1. So it looks like there's quite a few organ presets. You have kind of the vibrato chorus and the percussion effects on this. So right now percussion's off, vibrato chorus is off. Could turn that on. Let's go over to like H3. Has a little bit more bite to it. You can adjust things like the volume of the layer. So you'll notice this is here and here on the key layer. You also have the pre-drive. And then of course you have the drawbars here. So we could bring all of these back. A pretty good feel to them. You can also do some splits and octaves. You'll see these in both the organ and the keys section. So that's the organ section. I'll do another video talking a bit more about the organs, demoing those, and kind of going through that a bit more. But I think for now, we'll just turn that section off. Let's come over to the key section here. So we have keys A and B. So this is very similar. It's like two different layers. We could turn them both on, one off, kind of switch around there. So it's kind of easy to go in and toggle these layers. And then we can switch between the layers from the panel setting by tapping this A and B button. So again, you can turn them on and off with these, but if you turn one on, it automatically switches. Or if both are on, let's say you want to adjust what's in panel B. So for example, we're in panel B, it's in the other set on fast string. So let me just turn this off and show you. And then you turn A on, you've got a piano there, so I'll turn B off. Turn them both on. Now the nice thing is we could go into panel B, and then we could take the filter. Let's just kind of solo that here. We can adjust the tone and the volume. Turn the piano back on. Go back to our B and turn the volume down a little bit. We could also bring our B layer up an octave. So very similar to the Nord Stage 3 and how the panel functions. The A and the B layer. The difference here is you don't really have a synth section. So one of your key slots, your A or your B key slot, is going to take up that synth sound there. So we have a few different categories here. Let me just go back to this one here. We have piano. You can cycle through the different pianos here. You have electric pianos. Synth, you have a bunch of different synth stuff with a focus on kind of the FM synth. We could cycle through some of these. We have analog pad. You could throw a filter on there. Very easily layer that with maybe a piano here. Go to bring our octave up on the synth. Go to our B panel, bring the volume up, bring the volume of our pad down a little. And again, I would probably tie the volume or the filter to my modulation stick or an expression pedal. So as I'm playing, I can bring that in and out. So really quick, I mean, as you saw there, I was able to kind of layer things in. We have a couple effect slots, 1 and 2 on our key section. And then we also have this effect slot here, which can apply to the, if we turn that on, can apply to the organ, key A or key B. And then over here on our speaker amp, again, we go through that. Now on the reverb slot, this we could apply to the organ, key A, key B, or all of them. And so this case, we bring that depth in a little bit and play that. And then over on the right-hand side, we have a master EQ. So we have highs, mids, lows, and then for the mid, you can set what frequency that mid is at. Now, what's interesting here is on the master equalizers, the knobs are not 360. They're start and stop. And then same with our frequency here. The rest of these are 360 knobs, which I like because no matter where the setting's at, you turn this and it picks up from where that setting's at. So really cool. I like that they included 360 knobs for all of these. It makes tweaking them easier. So you see the parameter setting with the LED light, and then you have the knob to tweak that. So really cool. There's also this other category here, which has, if I just turn my B slot off, I'm in my A slot. There's a ton. So if you kind of quick tap this, you can see a bit of a list, but it's got some interesting sounds because Yamaha has workstation lines. They've included some of those sounds. So like a clean guitar. So you've got a bunch of different sounds there, and it's kind of fun to go through those. Let me go back to that guitar here so you can hear what that sounds like. That's one thing where this kind of shines a little bit is you have some of these really nice sounds in here from Yamaha's line of like the motif, like the trumpet. I'm sorry, that was the horn. The trumpet here. And I'll do a separate video where I kind of go through the sounds in each of the categories, as well as I'll be putting together a live set that's focused on church and worship music. I do this with the Nord Stage 3, and I'll be doing this with the YC88 as well, putting together kind of a custom live set for you to use at church. I used this at our Good Friday and our Easter services about a week ago for making this video, and I will be making a video on how to tweak the piano sounds and stuff for playing live. I learned quite a bit, and I brought this to the Good Friday and Easter services, particularly because I wanted to play it live, and I wanted to see how it performed on stage and what I would do to tweak sounds and things like that. I used it with the Nord Stage 3, and that was such a powerful combination with the perfect pad sound, which you can get links in the description below for the Nord Stage 3. Something I developed for that I use all the time. And then the piano of this, which cut through a little bit nicer from a live perspective than the Nord and the way the sounds that I have for the Nord. So anyway, be on the lookout for some more videos around the YC88. It's just kind of a little unedited flow through the panel. To me, it seems like there's maybe a little bit of menu diving, but not much more than the Nord Stage 3. Smaller feature set, but some really good sounds in here. And I'm excited to explore this more, to loop you guys in on that, and to make some videos that are targeted towards some of the specific areas, not only to teach you how to use the keyboard, but to also demo some of the sounds. And be on the lookout. So the Nord Stage 4 that I pre-ordered is coming very soon. I'll be doing videos comparing this against the Nord Stage 4. So the version of the Nord Stage 4 that I got has the triple action 88 weighted keys. This also has triple action 88 keys. These are actually wooden, so real authentic wood keys, which is really cool. I guess I should talk about the keybed here real quick. I feel like, let's go back to just the live set one. I'm going to throw a little reverb on there, bring the tone up, and throw a little more damper res in there. So bring that down a little. I'm going to talk for a second about this because I feel like the action's pretty light and I'm a hard player. So you can go into touch and you can change the touch curve on the keyboard from normal, which is where it was at, soft, which you don't have to hit the keys as hard, hard, which I like to be able to get some of those soft tones of the piano, and I feel like maybe the hard curve is a bit more for me. And then wide. So all of those being said, you've got some fixed ones there too. If I go back to normal, I, being a harder player, feel like the action's a little on the lighter side. I will be comparing it to the Hammer 88 Pro I have, as well as the new Nord Stage 4, to see how it stacks up. I love how they feel though, and because they're wooden, they're a bit more authentic feeling. So really great. And again, I feel like it's got a little more bite to the piano than the Nord Stage pianos, but I'll do some comparisons and really see how this compares stacked up against some of those. So keep in mind, the price on this is lower than the Nord Stage line. So being a Nord Stage user, I kind of default to comparing keyboards like this to it, especially because of the way that it's laid out and some of the things that they've done that kind of feel like they're trying to compete in that same space. So do I think it's a Nord killer? No. Coming at it from that view, I think the Nord can do considerably more. But I will say that this worked amazing when I played it on stage for the Good Friday and Easter services at my church. And I loved pairing it with a Nord Stage 3 and the synth sounds from there. I'm going to be messing with this a bit more and trying to build some good layers that you could use standalone, just the YC88 at your church. So be on the lookout for those. Thanks for watching. If you've got any questions around the YC88 or any specific videos that you'd like me to make for this stage piano, throw those down in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them or add those videos to my list of ones to make. Got some amazing content coming up with the Nord Stage 4 coming really soon. So be on the lookout for those. Make sure you're subscribed, stay inspired, and keep making that music.